Good morning, David. Evion Group has released a milestone release. What's the strategic significance of the Atlas Assets placement, and how should investors view the partnership?
Yeah, thanks, Gareth. Look, Atlas is a large US critical minerals investment group with a very strong network and connections through to US defence. Very experienced in this field. They have a range of other assets globally, which I'll let them talk to over time. But they're the best fit for this company as far as developing our global interest into, apart from the EU, the US as well. Look, the funding that Atlas have contributed is really core to our development in the short term, and some of those funds will be looked at expanding and completing some additional expansion in India. We're actively looking at development opportunities and expansion opportunities into the US, and obviously some early stage costs around Madagascar. Look, the relationship with the Atlas network is critical. We're very happy with it.
Well, certainly lots of support coming out from the EU for what you're doing. Now a lot of support coming out of the US and some good tailwinds, certainly. I suppose we need to talk about what's happening in Madagascar itself. How does the recent change in government affect your activities?
Look, the change in government, Gareth, I think is a great thing. We've had a lot of positive feedback from our in-country people and the EU directly. If anything, this change in government is solidifying the EU and the US's investment involvement in Madagascar. It's actually a good thing. The US and Madagascar are traditionally had a very strong trade relationships, and the US in particular. I know there's a lot of talk about rare earths at the moment, but the real commodity in the global critical mineral supply chain that is at major risk to the world globally is graphite. The US recognise it, and so does the EU. They're right behind us. We've had a lot of positive feedback in the last few weeks. We're in a great spot at the moment.
So what's next for Evion's funding and development roadmap after the EU grant and the Atlas placement?
Yeah, look, we're advancing our grant funding with the EU. They've committed euro 3 million to us for short-term grant funding, development, training, and expansion of activities in the short term. So I like to think we'll have all that wrapped up and rolled out in the short term. I've got some meetings I've been invited to some meetings with a number of banks in Europe in about two and a half weeks' time. So you'll see some data online about that. This is a culmination of conversations we've been having with the EU banks for a number of months now. Now these meetings with the EU, it's fully endorsed by Atlas, who are right behind us with this approach. We see it as a joint approach that Evion's taking between our involvement and support from the EU and obviously the US. There's going to be enough graphite produced in Madagascar to serve both markets, so we're happy about that. In relation to short-term goals, I'll be meeting with the Atlas guys over the next few weeks. We're working out a venue for that. I hope to get them to Madagascar. They've suggested they'll be coming to Australia in the short term. So I'm looking forward to them explaining in detail a little about their business model and how they're going to work with us to develop the business. Licensing matters will be addressed and resolved in the short term, and then we get into development.